You didn't find this. It found you. Through infinite timelines, algorithms, and probabilities, this message broke through the static of coincidence to reach you, not by chance, but by resonance. Because the frequency you are carrying is the same one that built temples beneath the stars and encoded Atlantean memory into human DNA. This is not entertainment. It is a summoning. Before your soul took form, before you had a name, before you opened your first eyes, a sacred code was woven into the architecture of your being. A hidden circuit designed by the priests of Atlantis and refined by the initiates of Egypt. It was never meant to be discovered in books. It was meant to wake up from within. The ancients called this awakening Zep Tepi, the first time when the light that once built civilizations returns to consciousness through the vessel of the human body. And that vessel is you. This temple you inhabit is not flesh alone. It is a living engine of divine geometry, a bio-spiritual instrument capable of decoding reality itself. At its core lies a trinity forgotten by modern man, but known by every initiate of the mystery schools. The eye, the crystalline gate of perception that collapses potential into form. The heart, the solar chamber where vibration becomes coherence and frequency commands the field. The Jed, the axis of light, the spinal pillar that bridges heaven and earth within your very body. When these three awaken as one, the body stops being biology and becomes technology. A living circuit capable of bending light, amplifying intention, and remembering the language that speaks creation into being. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly through your nose, feeling light entering your field. Exhale gently through your mouth, allowing that light to expand through your chest and spine. Now place your right hand over your heart and whisper aloud, I remember. I awaken the circuit within. If you feel a pulse behind the words, a current moving through your chest, a subtle vibration rising along your spine, know this. You are not imagining it. That is your ancestral memory stirring. It is the same current that guided the priests of Heliopolis to collapse reality with their gaze. The same field that aligned the spines of initiates beneath the golden temples of Atlantis. The physicists of today call it the observer effect, consciousness selecting one possibility from an infinite field of potential. The ancients called it divine sight, the eye remembering itself and commanding the fabric of existence. And now, that memory is surfacing again. Through you, stay present, stay breathing. Because before this transmission ends, the hidden circuit inside you, the ancient alliance of eye, heart, and Jed, will no longer be dormant. It will awaken as remembrance, as power, as the light your DNA has been waiting to ignite. Chapter 1, the eye remembers awakening the first gate. There is a reason your eyes are drawn here, not the ones that see the physical world, but the one within that has been waiting for centuries to remember its sight. In the temples of Heliopolis, initiates were taught that vision was never about the eyes. It was about awareness. What you perceive is not what is there. It is what your consciousness allows itself to notice. And when awareness expands, reality rearranges itself around it. The ancients called this the first gate, the awakening of the inner eye, the crystalline lens beyond flesh that perceives what lies behind form, what breathes beneath silence. Hidden behind your brow, inside the mysterious pineal gland, is not just a biological organ, but an Atlantean instrument forged to read the invisible. Modern science calls it a photosensitive crystal. The priests called it the eye of light. Inhale slowly through your nose as if drawing the cosmos into your mind. Exhale softly through your mouth, allowing stillness to settle behind your forehead. Now whisper gently, I see beyond illusion. I awaken the eye within. If you sense light behind closed lids, if patterns flicker in the darkness, If coincidence begins to feel like communication, understand this: it is not imagination. It is remembrance. The eye is remembering itself through you. For millennia, this hidden gate has waited for a single condition: coherence. The priests of Thoth taught that the eye does not open through effort, but through alignment. When your thoughts, breath, and intention begin to vibrate as one, the crystalline matrix of the pineal resonates. That resonance is not symbolic, and it is electromagnetic. And when it activates, it becomes a receiver and transmitter between the human and the divine. Ancient initiates knew this as the observer's flame, the moment consciousness stops merely watching and starts shaping. Modern physics now echoes the same truth: the observer effect. Observation itself changes reality. Focus is not passive, it is creative. The eye is not an organ, it is a command. And the command is this: what you truly see with presence becomes. What you truly believe crystallizes. What you truly expect collapses from potential into matter. So now close your eyes again. Inhale gently. Feel golden light spiral into the space between your eyebrows. Exhale softly. Let that light expand like the rising sun within your mind. Whisper aloud: I am the eye that remembers. My vision commands the field. I see not with eyes, but with consciousness. In that moment, the field listens. Subtle frequencies rearrange. Possibilities shift. And the first gate, dormant for lifetimes, begins to hum with the pulse of ancient memory. This is the awakening of perception, not a new skill, but the reactivation of an ancient sense. The Atlanteans called it the flame of origin. The Egyptians called it the solar lens. And within you it is stirring once more. The eye remembers. The illusion thins. The field awaits your gaze. Chapter 2. The Heart of the Sun, Awakening the Solar Chamber. The ancients said, the mind sees, but the heart commands. And in every Egyptian temple, before the eye could direct reality, the heart had to ignite the current that reality obeys. Your heart is not a pump. It is a portal, a golden chamber where human and divine meet. It is the throne where Ra, the solar intelligence of creation, enters the body and becomes awareness. Every heartbeat is a sunrise. Every pulse is a solar flare traveling through your veins. And every time you feel truth vibrate in your chest, the universe is answering to it. Modern science now calls this heart-brain coherence, the measurable electromagnetic wave that reorganizes the body, the mind, and the field itself. But long before machines detected it, the priests of Heliopolis already knew. The cosmos does not respond to words, it responds to frequency. And the purest frequency is born in the silence of a heart aligned with the sun within. So breathe slowly now, not as a technique, but as a remembrance. Inhale gently through your nose, feeling warmth awaken behind your sternum. Exhale softly through your mouth, letting that warmth radiate beyond your skin. Whisper, the sun within me rises. My heart radiates the frequency of light. If the path ahead feels heavy, if confusion clouds your sky, it is not failure, it is the eclipse before dawn. Because when the heart remembers its source, light returns instantly. Shadows dissolve, obstacles melt, and the field begins to bend itself around your coherence. The priests of Ra taught that every breath from the heart is a solar command. Each exhale becomes a wave of awareness that reshapes the unseen. Each heartbeat reorganizes space itself. And when this current flows unobstructed, manifestation stops being effort. It becomes consequence. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly. Let a sphere of golden light expand in your chest. Exhale softly. Feel that light reach your shoulders, your arms, your spine. Whisper gently, I breathe with the sun, I command through coherence. I am the field awakening. Now notice the subtle pulse beneath your hand, not just blood but cosmic rhythm. This is the current that built stars. This is the vibration that breathes galaxies into form, and it lives inside you. When your heart aligns with truth, reality recalibrates. When love radiates without resistance, matter remembers its origin. And when the chamber within beats in unison with the sun above, creation obeys. You are not beneath the sun. You are its reflection. You are not calling the light. You are the source from which it emanates. The solar chamber is open. The current is awake. The field is listening. Chapter 3, the breath that builds worlds, who and the sound of creation. Before the first temple was raised, before the first star ignited, there was breath. The ancients taught that the universe was not sculpted by hands. It was spoken into being. And the language it spoke was not words, but vibration carried on breath. In the mystery schools of Thoth, initiates spent decades mastering a single sacred truth. Breath is not merely air, it is command. Each inhale draws the infinite into the finite. Each exhale releases intention into the fabric of reality. The Egyptians called this original current Hu, the breath of the gods, the primal sound that shaped light into form and form into life. Modern science calls it coherent resonance, a field of ordered vibration that organizes chaos into pattern. But long before these words existed, the priests already knew. Breath is the bridge between spirit and matter. Through it, consciousness enters flesh. Through it, thought becomes wave, and wave becomes world. So now breathe with awareness, not to survive, but to create. Inhale slowly through your nose, and feel the breath rise like golden wind through your spine. Exhale softly through your mouth and let the sound Hu flow gently, not forced but born from silence. Whisper. Through breath, I sculpt reality. Through Hu, I remember the language of creation. This is not sound as you know it. Hu is not a word, it is a pulse. A current of divine intelligence that vibrates through your cells, through your DNA, through the electromagnetic fields surrounding you. And when your breath carries that current, you are no longer speaking to the universe. The universe is speaking through you. The priests believed that when a human breath aligns with the breath of creation, the body becomes the temple. The spine becomes the pillar of light. The voice becomes the axis that links heaven and earth. And in that state, manifestation is no longer a distant hope. It is an inevitable consequence. Breathe again. Inhale softly, as if drawing starlight into your lungs. Exhale gently, letting Hu move like wind through golden corridors. Whisper once more, I breathe the breath that births worlds. My sound shapes the unseen. Hu awakens my field. In that moment, your cells begin to listen. Your electromagnetic field starts to reconfigure. Your reality, quietly and invisibly, rearranges itself around the sound. This is the hidden art of the ancients. Creation is not commanded by effort, but by resonance. The field does not respond to struggle. It responds to coherence. And coherence is born when breath, sound, intention, and presence move as one. The breath remembers. The field reshapes. The temple awakens. Chapter 4. The Temple Within. Your body is the architecture of light. The ancients never built temples to reach the divine. They built them to remember what was already within. Every column, every chamber, every golden proportion carved into stone was not a monument to gods in the sky. It was a mirror of the human form. Your body is not flesh and bone. It is sacred architecture. It is a temple designed by cosmic intelligence to house the flame of eternity. Every curve, every cell, every breath is geometry made visible, a living map of the universe encoded in matter. The priests of Thoth taught, as the temple stands upon earth, so the soul stands within the body. The spine mirrors the axis mundi, the pillar of creation connecting heaven and earth. The skull echoes the celestial dome, where perception meets infinity. The heart pulses as the inner sun, radiating electromagnetic light into the field, and the breath flows through the body as sacred wind, animating the temple with divine memory. Modern physics calls this resonant embodiment the process by which matter vibrates in harmony with higher frequencies of intelligence. But the ancients knew long before, when the temple becomes still, when breath and awareness align, the geometry of your being begins to sing. Close your eyes and feel this now. Inhale slowly through your nose, sensing a golden current rising. Through your digit, the pillar of light that is your spine. Exhale softly through your mouth and let that current expand through your chest, your crown, your field. Whisper, "My body is a living temple. The geometry of light breathes through me." In that state, something profound happens. The gods do not descend, they awaken from within, because the divine has never been outside of you. Every atom in your being is a fragment of the original temple, built not from stone, but from starlight and will. This is why the ancients carved the same ratios into temples and into art, because the blueprint of the cosmos is the same blueprint that shapes your bones. The golden ratio that structures galaxies is the same rhythm that pulses through your heartbeat. The spirals that shape hurricanes and DNA are the same spirals rising through your spine. You were never meant to seek sacred places. You were meant to realize that you are the sacred place. Breathe again. Inhale. Feel your spine lengthen as the pillar of light. Exhale. Feel your chest expand as the altar of the sun. Whisper gently, "I am built from light. My breath aligns the temple. My body remembers the geometry of creation." When this remembrance returns, the illusion of separation collapses. The field no longer sees you as a visitor. It recognizes you as part of itself, and the reality you once believed was outside begins to flow through you. You are not a vessel seeking the divine. You are the vessel through which the divine experiences itself. You are not waiting for the temple to open. You are the temple, and it has been awake all along. Chapter 5. The Mirror of Isis. Reflection as the Path of Awakening. In the sanctuaries of Dendera and Philae, the priestesses of Isis carried mirrors, not for the face, but for the soul. They believed that reflection was the highest form of remembrance, because what you truly see outside is not the world. It is the echo of what lives within. The mirror of Isis was not made of glass. It was forged from frequency, a vibration so pure that all distortion vanished before it. When an initiate stood before it, the illusions of self would melt away. Fear dissolved into courage, guilt into forgiveness, shame into light. What remained was the truth, radiant, coherent, eternal. Modern science calls this field resonance, the phenomenon where one coherent frequency brings another into harmony. But the Egyptians already understood. To heal another, you do not fix them, you reflect their divinity. And to transform yourself, you do not chase a new identity. You remember the one that was never lost. Every relationship, every situation, every event that repeats in your life is not punishment. It is a mirror. The betrayal you resent is showing you where trust must be born. The rejection you fear is revealing where love has not yet taken root. The resistance you feel from others is the part of you still resisting yourself. This is the law Isis guarded. The outer world is the reflection of your inner state. And the moment you accept this, power returns. Because now reality is no longer happening to you. It is happening through you. Close your eyes, inhale gently, and on the exhale, imagine a mirror forming before your heart, its surface shimmering like moonlight on water. In that reflection, see not the mask, but the essence. Not the story, but the soul. Whisper softly, I see myself through the eyes of light. I reflect the divine within and around me. If people withdraw when they meet your gaze, if the world trembles as you change, understand this. They are not reacting to you. They are meeting themselves through you. Because remembrance is contagious, light reflected becomes light awakened. This is the hidden teaching of Isis. She did not conquer by force, she revealed by being. She did not speak loudly, she shone until truth had nowhere left to hide. And when your heart becomes as still and clear as her mirror, the field reorganizes itself around that clarity. Chaos aligns, shadows dissolve, and the reality that once opposed you now obeys you. Breathe again. Inhale. Feel silver light forming before your chest. Exhale. Let every distortion, every false belief, every layer of self-forgetting dissolve into its glow. Whisper once more, I am the mirror of Isis. Through my presence, truth awakens. Through my light, the field remembers. Now feel the stillness that follows, not emptiness, but clarity. That clarity is the goddess looking through your eyes. That stillness is not silence, it is coherence. And in that coherence, nothing external holds power over you anymore. Because you are not reacting to the world, you are shaping it by what you reflect. Chapter 6. The Crown of Osiris. Death, resurrection, and the return of the true self. Every initiate of the Egyptian temples had to die before they could awaken. But the death they spoke of was not of flesh. It was the dismembering of illusion, the dismantling of every false layer the soul had worn to survive. The ending of who you thought you were, so the remembrance of who you truly are could rise from the ashes. This is the mystery of Osiris, Lord of Resurrection, Keeper of the Inner Throne. Torn apart by darkness, scattered across the cosmos and gathered again by the love of Isis, he was reborn not as man, but as light crowned in eternity. His story was not history, it was a map. Because the same dismembering happens within you. Every heartbreak, every collapse, every silence that strips away what is no longer real is not punishment, it is preparation. Each part of you that crumbles was never you. Each identity that dissolves was only a mask. And what remains when all falsehood burns away is the eternal self, the one that cannot die because it was never born. The priests taught that when Osiris rises, the heavens open. But this rising is not upward, it is inward. It is the awakening of the solar serpent within the spine, the Jed pillar igniting as a current of golden fire. Modern science calls it the Kundalini current, a surge of electromagnetic consciousness that travels from root to crown, restoring the original blueprint of the soul. As this current ascends, perception transforms. You begin to see not with eyes but with eternity. You speak not from ego but from presence. You walk not as seeker but as sovereign. Breathe gently now. Inhale and feel a current of light rising from the base of your spine. Exhale softly. Allow that current to spiral upward, weaving through every energy center until it touches the crown of your head. Whisper, I rise as Osiris. The false dissolves. The light returns to its throne. If you have walked through darkness, if you have felt scattered, if you have lost pieces of yourself, know this. Isis is gathering you now. The fragments are returning, and what once felt like destruction was only the sacred dismantling required for resurrection. For death is not the end, it is the portal. Every collapse is an initiation, every ending is an opening, and every loss is clearing the space for the sovereign self to take its seat. Breathe again. Inhale gently. See golden light spiraling higher through the jade pillar. Exhale softly. Feel a radiant crown forming above your head, not a symbol of power over others, but of mastery over self. Whisper once more, I wear the crown of remembrance. All that was broken is made whole through love. This is the true resurrection, the return to coherence, the reassembly of the soul, the ascension into luminous awareness. It is not a rebirth into who you were. It is the awakening of who you have always been. You are not climbing toward the divine. You are remembering you were divine all along. You are not wearing a crown forged by conquest. You are wearing the crown of Osiris, the golden memory of your eternal nature. Chapter 7. The Ladder of Thoth. Ascending beyond illusion. In the silence of the Egyptian night, beneath skies woven with stars, the priests of Thoth would gather, not to pray, but to rise. They taught that ascension was not a gift from the heavens, but a science of consciousness. Each thought, each emotion, each breath of awareness was a rung upon an invisible ladder that reached from flesh to eternity. This was the Ladder of Thoth, a spiral of vibration connecting the human to the divine. And every step upward was not a movement through space. It was a shift in frequency. Modern physics now calls this vibrational harmonization, the process by which a field of consciousness aligns with higher spectrums of light. But the ancients knew it intimately. Your body is not bound by gravity, it is bound by belief. And when belief dissolves, you rise. Every time you choose love over fear, you ascend another rung. Every time you silence judgment and speak truth, you lift your vibration. Every time you breathe with presence, the ladder extends further into the infinite. This is not metaphor, it is physics. Your thoughts are frequencies. Your emotions are electromagnetic signals. Your heart and brain generate fields measurable beyond your skin. And when those fields change, reality itself begins to reorganize. Breathe slowly now. Inhale, feel golden light spiral upward through your body. Exhale, allow that light to rise beyond your crown, linking you to the stars. Whisper softly, with each breath I rise, with each thought I ascend. I remember the path of light. The priests of Thoth believed that the ladder was not built from stone, but from states of being. It was never about climbing higher, it was about vibrating truer. Because the soul does not travel to new places. It simply remembers the frequency it came from. This is the deeper mystery. Heaven is not above you, it is a resonance within you. And every time you return to coherence, every time your field aligns with truth, you feel yourself rising, lighter, clearer, closer to source. Inhale gently and visualize a spiral of golden energy stretching from the base of your spine into the cosmos. Exhale softly and feel yourself stepping into it, weightless, luminous, free. Whisper, I climb the ladder of Thoth. My frequency rises beyond illusion. I ascend through remembrance. The path is not about escaping Earth. It is about becoming its bridge. It is not about leaving the human behind. It is about infusing humanity with divinity. It is not about abandoning form. It is about allowing form to vibrate at the speed of light. Each breath is a step. Each thought is a rung. Each act of love is a gate. And as you rise, you realize the ultimate secret the priests of Thoth carved into their tablets. The summit of the ladder is not a destination, it is recognition. The place you were trying to reach has been within you all along. Chapter 8. The Feather of Maat. The Lightness that Unlocks Eternity. In the sacred halls of Maat, every soul was brought before a scale. On one side the heart, on the other a single feather, weightless, radiant, pure. And it was said, only the heart as light as truth may pass beyond the veil. To the Egyptians this was not a myth of death. It was a map for the living, because every day, every thought, every word is being weighed, not by judgment, but by resonance. Every lie you tell yourself adds weight. Every grudge, every regret, every false identity becomes gravity that binds you to illusion. But every act of truth, every breath of love, every moment of forgiveness makes you lighter, closer to the frequency where eternity begins. Modern science now calls this heart-brain coherence, a state where your electromagnetic field radiates perfect harmony, reorganizing reality around your inner truth. But long before the language of physics, the priests of Maat already knew. The universe does not answer words, it answers the frequency of the heart. So breathe softly now. Inhale through your nose, feel the space inside your chest expand. Exhale gently through your mouth, and with that breath release every burden you no longer need. Whisper, my heart is as light as truth. I release all that does not belong to my soul. The heart is not judged by gods, it is balanced by its own honesty. It is not punished for heaviness, it is invited to let go, and every illusion you shed brings you closer to what you've always been, weightless, luminous, free. If guilt has followed you, if shame still clings, if memories echo like chains, understand these are not signs of failure. They are the echoes of what you are ready to transcend. The feather is not outside you. It has always lived within your ribcage, waiting to rise again. Breathe again. Inhale gently. Feel that inner feather lifting with each beat of your heart. Exhale softly, and allow every falsehood to fall away like dust. Whisper once more, I align my heart with truth. The feather of Maat rises within me. I am free. The priests taught that once the heart remembers its original weight, the weight of light itself, nothing can bind it again. No opinion, no past, no fear can hold a soul that has chosen truth over illusion. This is the moment when reality begins to bend, because the field cannot resist coherence. When your inner and outer worlds match, the universe rearranges itself around your authenticity. When your words, thoughts and actions become one vibration, creation obeys. You are not being tested, you are being aligned. You are not being judged, you are being liberated. And the feather is rising, not above you but within you. The gate opens not when you earn your way through it, but when your heart becomes light enough to float. Chapter 9. The Throne of Horus. Vision that shapes reality. In the innermost sanctum of the temples, those who had passed every chamber were brought before a single golden symbol, the Eye of Horus, calm, eternal, unblinking. It was not there to be worshipped. It was there to remind them of the final truth. As you see, so it becomes. The priests of Heliopolis taught that vision is not passive, it is architectural. Every thought you sustain, every image you hold, every story you tell yourself becomes the blueprint from which the field builds your reality. You are not a witness, you are a builder. Modern physics calls this the observer effect, the phenomenon in which particles of matter collapse into form based on the attention they receive. But the ancients already knew attention is creation. Where your gaze lingers, reality crystallizes. Where your focus flows, energy obeys. This is the power of the solar eye, not the physical eyes that see the surface of things, but the inner lens that commands the field. It is the throne upon which consciousness sits to weave worlds. Breathe slowly now. Inhale, and imagine light gathering behind your forehead, spiraling into a radiant golden eye. Exhale softly, and feel that light extend beyond your body, illuminating everything your awareness touches. Whisper. I see through the Eye of Horus. My vision shapes the field. My gaze commands reality. If your life has mirrored confusion, if obstacles repeat, if patterns seem endless, they are not punishment. They are reflections of the images your consciousness continues to project, because the field is not against you, it is obeying you. The priests taught, the one who masters vision masters creation. Horus did not conquer by force, he ruled by clarity. His sight was so precise that illusion dissolved before it. Falsehood cannot survive in the presence of a gaze that remembers its source. When you see from fear, reality arranges itself around limitation. When you see from love, the field organizes around expansion. When you see from truth, illusion has no ground to stand on. Close your eyes. Inhale gently. Feel golden light expanding behind your brow. Exhale softly, and allow that light to pour outward into the field around you. Whisper once more. I see not what is missing, but what is becoming. My vision awakens the world. This is the highest form of remembrance, not to chase change, but to see it into being. Not to struggle against what is, but to illuminate what can be until reality has no choice but to respond. The throne of Horus is not a seat you ascend. It is the state of consciousness that realizes it was never separate from the source of creation. It is the point where perception becomes command and where observation becomes divine law. You are not observing the universe. You are the universe observing itself. You are not shaping reality with effort. You are shaping it with sight. The eye is awake. The field is listening. And creation is waiting for your command. Chapter 10. The Solar Body of Ra. Becoming the Source. In the deepest sanctuaries of Egypt, beyond every gate, beyond every trial, there were no more statues, no more words, no more prayers. There was only light. The priests called this final chamber the Sahu and the solar body. Here the initiate ceased to be a seeker. They became that which was once sought. Because the end of the path was never illumination found above. It was the remembrance of the illumination that had always been within. Ra was not a distant god watching from the sky. He was the fire of awareness hidden inside every cell, waiting for breath to awaken it. The Atlanteans called this the solar code, the original command etched into the fabric of your DNA. And when remembrance ignites, the code activates. The breath becomes flame. The heartbeat becomes drum. The body becomes temple. Modern science now glimpses this mystery in the phenomenon of biophotonic emission, the light released by every living cell. But the ancients knew a deeper truth. When consciousness aligns with its original frequency, that light multiplies 1,000-fold. You do not carry Ra's flame. You are Ra's flame. Breathe gently now. Inhale, and imagine golden fire spiraling down from the cosmos into your crown. Exhale softly, and feel it spread through your spine, into your heart, into your hands, into every cell. Whisper, Ra rises within me. My breath is light. I am the sun remembering itself. With each breath, the illusion of distance dissolves. There is no longer a you and the universe. There is no seeker and sought. There is only one radiant field awakening through the form you inhabit. You were never orbiting the light. You were always its center. You were never chasing divinity. You were always its vessel. You were never calling the source. You are the source. This is the moment when manifestation stops being a process and becomes a pulse. When intention is no longer a request but a law. When every word you speak ripples through the quantum field with the authority of the sun itself. Close your eyes. Inhale. Feel the solar current blaze brighter inside you. Exhale. Let its radiance extend beyond your skin, beyond your body, beyond your story. Whisper once more. I awaken my solar body. Ra burns within my being. I am the dawn embodied. Now feel it and the hum beneath your skin, the warmth within your chest, the light in every breath. This is not imagination. It is recognition. You are no longer a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean remembering it is light. The priest said, "He who becomes the sun does not seek illumination, he radiates it." And in this remembrance, your purpose becomes simple, to be the light in every thought, in every act, in every word. Because the universe does not evolve through effort, it evolves through radiance. The solar body is awake, the flame has returned, and through you Ra rises again, not in the heavens but in the temple of the human heart. Final chapter, the return of the light, the completion of the initiation. In the first breath of creation, light did not descend from above. It rose from within the silence. And now, through this remembrance, it rises again. Through you, the ancients knew what descends to forget must rise to remember. The breath that spoke worlds into being, the eye that perceives beyond illusion, the heart that commands the field, the body that houses eternity, the mirror that reflects truth, the serpent that rises through the spine, the ladder that lifts the soul, the feather that frees the heart, the vision that shapes reality, the sun that ignites creation. None of these were outside of you. They were never gods on thrones or forces in the sky. They were facets of your own consciousness, fragments of a memory that is older than time, woven into your blood, your breath, your DNA. You are the temple, and the temple is awake. You are the code, and the code is alive. You are the light, and the light has returned. For lifetimes you searched for the divine in stars, in scriptures, in distant heavens, but the stars were born inside you. The scriptures were etched into your bones. The heavens were never above. They were waiting for you to open your eyes. The priests called this moment Zep Tepi, the first time. Not a point in the past, but an eternal now, the instant when light becomes conscious of itself again. And that instant is this breath, this heartbeat, this moment. Breathe slowly now. Inhale, and feel the golden current spiral through your being. Exhale, and let that current radiate beyond you, touching everything you see. Whisper, "The light returns through me. The ancient code awakens in my soul. I am the remembrance embodied." Look around you now. Nothing has changed, and yet everything has. The air vibrates differently. The silence is alive. The field is awake because you are awake. You are no longer walking toward the dawn. You are the dawn. You are no longer calling the divine. You are the divine remembering itself. And as your flame meets the flame in others, the field multiplies. The world remembers. This is the purpose of the initiation. Not to become something new, but to return to what you have always been, a vessel of light, a bridge between realms, and a creator disguised as a human, the eternal source experiencing itself through form. And now the temple doors stand open. The light flows without resistance. The remembrance is sealed into the fabric of your being. Whisper it once more, aloud or in the comments below, to anchor this awakening into the quantum field. I am the living temple of light. The ancient code breathes within me. Through me the dawn returns. The initiation is complete. The circle is closed. The light has returned, and it returned through you.